Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture. It is based on both scientific and historical evidence. So those who do not want to face the reality, please do not watch this video. Now, today I'd like to share with you part 3 of Wing Chun Sparring. So after I share the part 2, where I share that if you want to spar, you need to know your fitness level, VO2 max, your endurance and your recovery, and also this the entire thing on your heart rate and so forth. Many of our Wing Chun friends message me looking forward for the part 3 because they are eager to implement the stuff so that they know their conditions or the level of their fitness. So today I'd like to share with you so that after this video you'll be able to implement what I present here. You know exactly where you are and you got the tools to do it. Okay, so there are many questions sent to me. One of it is why don't I share this in the past? I like to share with everybody that I don't share this in the past but select to do it now. It's because you need to build out foundations of knowledge, of information before I can share this. Okay? And it of course have to base on science and historical data. Otherwise it's getting into political and all kinds of stuff. Now, as I share in the part 1, we know that any sparring, any fighting, it is based on your cardiovascular endurance and your muscular endurance. That is the most bottom line, basic foundation one must have. Now, when we present this foundations where you need to develop your physical, your cardio and your muscular, you know that magic in Kung Fu and many grandmasters in Kung Fu and many legends in Kung Fu will be removed or wiped out, because under the sun of the reality of cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance, which is the really basic, what is magical, what is the marketing grandmaster proclaim and the legend will go, because they cannot last. And that is an issue if we don't have solid evidence. Particularly if I don't have solid evidence to share with you, if I cannot walk my talk, then it will become political and there will be attacking, and it just don't solve things but create more problem. Because obviously those who is marketing those kind of stuff will not like it. And this is business, this is not about culture. Because marketing is making money, making business, right? like trying to sell you, you can develop chi. It will go. Because in the reality, it cannot get result. So that's the reason I wait until now to make this series, so that everybody know the bottom line. Anybody who really want to make their Wing Chun works, now know the bottom line. It has to be that way. Now, I'd like to share one thing with you. This book is named as Wing Chun Inception. The reason why it is the name as Inception here, as we know, inception is beginning. Right? In English word, inception means beginning. On another hand, Inception, if you watch that movie Inceptions, you know that it is going to somebody's dream to know what he's talking about, to know all the person's thing and so forth. So why do I name it as Inception? Because Wing Chun today need to have a new beginning, or else it will not last for years, not even decades. Okay? The second thing about this inceptions of getting somebody's dream, it means we need to know exactly what the ancient is talking about. Get into their mind, know what they are talking about when they talk Wing Chun. And also get into today's sports science, know what is the core. So Wing Chun Inception meaning that this is the platform. This is the bottom line. If we want to start a new era, we need this. We need to know exactly what the ancient is teaching. We need to know what the sports science is, which can verify what the ancient teaching is. So only this way we can have a new start to benefit everybody. Now, so the idea of Wing Chun Inception, guess where it comes from? If you read my book, Kung Fu 1560, Wing Chun Inception I get inspired by General Chi Guang. Because at that time, the Ming Dynasty army is no can do. So General Chi Guang has to get into understanding of the Japanese pirate and Japanese warrior. Need to understand the core. And also understand what the heck is this Chinese Kung Fu is about. And start a new era based on what he found. So it is a beginning of a new era. That's why, again, it's called Inception. That's why inside there you can see that the ancient 1850s Wing Chun writing, the teaching, mapped into sports science. That is the intention. We have a solid platform, no magic. If you look at today's Kung Fu, be it in Wing Chun or other Kung Fu, sorry to say that, Kung Fu today is equal to fantasy plus violence. If you compare with MMA, Western boxing, Kung Fu in general equal to violence plus fantasy. What else? If you look into Kung Fu, people say, according to this style, this. According to this style, this. Well, sorry to ask. Does the world, the law of physics, the biomechanics, the human body cares that according to which styles? Well, one's biomechanics accord to anybody's styles. It's like a religion. You believe in certain religion, and then your body, your physical all will accord to that religions. Well, of course, this is not right. 460 years ago, General Qi Shi Guang already put it in writing. What is the reality of fighting? And what is the reality of the preparation, like the stamina training and so forth? So it's in my book, the Kung Fu 1560. I purposely translate it so that we in the West know what is the truth. No longer we want to accept the fantasy and violence. It's like you can get nuclear bomb. You can have the nuclear bomb technology, but you don't need to have violence. We all are civilized. A technology got nothing wrong, but you don't just talk about violence and bullying people. But you want to have the technology, the real technology. So, the reason of this, like I share, is because we need to get a standard to measure ourselves, to know where we are, to know that what we train making sense or not, does it work or not. Well, again, you want to talk about Shaolin Kung Fu? Bodhidharma, when they come to China, teaching the Zen teaching, he said that the teaching is, in the bottom line, we must not lie to ourselves, we must not lie to others, and we must not accept the lies from others on us. So another way is that I should not call myself Grandmaster Hendrik, because I'm not. And if somebody call me Grandmaster Hendrik because he want to pat my back, I'm not going to accept that. And if other people go market about Grandmaster Hendrik, well, don't buy in that too, because it is not the reality. So that's the teaching of Zen, the real Zen from Bodhidharma. You have to be strict, okay? Like today's scientific. You want to make any claim, you want to talk about certain thing, you better to get the data to support it. Now, so all this thing, all those things, you know what is this? We always heard about that in Kung Fu, in Shaolin Kung Fu, okay? I am very specific here, Shaolin Kung Fu, got nothing to do with Tai Chi and all those kind of things, because that's not what Wing Chun is. Shaolin Kung Fu said externally train your muscle, your bone and sinews, internally train your breathing, 内练一口气. This entire thing is about 内练一口气. So if one talk about internal art, one need to be able to handle the heart rate handling or breathing handling in the recovery, and also in the high intensity fighting, which is your VO2 max, your endurance and so forth in anaerobic. Okay? Now, so let's continue on this thing. Everyone Every Wing Chuners, if you are serious on your training or your teaching, you must got a profile, okay? A fitness profile of yourself or your student. Because only you know this profile, you know that whether you train effectively, can you get result? Can you make correction? Can you make improve? Or can you just throw away something which is useless? So we need something to tell us scientifically what is going on. Not about, well, this is Grandmaster Hendrik, I say so. Oh, this is my Xu Lim Tao sets. This is how I can do it. So I will certify you. No. In the new Wing Chun era, it has to be. What is your profile? How can you improve? And of course, we are not competing who is the best number one. We just simply want to know what is going on. It's like you want to race a car. You need to know the engine condition. You need to know the wheel, it is working or not. You're not going to race a car as you like it. And you create all kinds of mess up there. Okay? So, like this is from the last time, I have put in under the link on the last part, the part 2. You need this. Now, if one not be able to go for the recovery, then learn about the recovery. Learn how to have the skill. If one cannot go up here, playing in the impulse momentum with a high heart rate and so forth, in the anaerobic, then train it. On the other hand, if one's body is not built for this, or have a preconditions, health condition, then don't do it. Because you know it's trouble here. You can do here to help your health, but you're not going to do this. Okay? So if you know this, you can say yes or no to your student. If the student say, well, I want to learn sparring, I want to go high intensity, you just look at that and say no. You shouldn't do that because your fitness profile is like this. Okay? Or hey, you can push yourself a little bit more because you have a very good VO2 max. Young guy, okay? Especially young people, don't be lazy. Sometimes you say, okay, when I was young, my Kyokushin teacher always said, don't be lazy, you can do it. Well, of course, at that time, we don't have this. And so you have to rely on the instructor's experience to check on us. But right now, there's no grandmaster talk here, but scientific talk. Whether you got it, you don't got it, it is clear. And also, the student can tell the instructor saying no on a certain training. The same, based on this, scientific. Okay? And of course, other thing is self-checking. One need to monitor oneself. For example, if you take a look at this, okay? This is the heart rate zone when one is practice a Qigong. And somehow if that practice end up that the heart rate, you see that it move up, shift up to this zone at that particular day, you know something is going wrong. Either you don't handle that practice properly or your body is not recovered yet. or you are sick or something. So you see, the proper practice of that Qigong, for example, like it is majorly on this zone and this zone a little bit. Now you see that it is not this zone is shifted to this and that, and then you know that the handling or the body have a problem. And also, if the teacher be able to, the practice of the teacher is like in this zone, and whenever you practice, you get this zone, then you know you need to get to the teacher, say, sir, I don't know why I cannot get into your zone. The teacher is responsible to help the student to have a proper practice. So you know. Every day, your practice, you know. And also, if a set like your Xiu Lim Tao, if it is claimed that it is in this two zone, and you get into this, something wrong with the Xiu Lim Tao practice. So that's why in the Wing Chun Inception, in the H model, and I think in chapter 3, it shows you that different technology have its different zone. Okay, so if you practice your sparring, you will be in this zone. Okay, so you know exactly, very specific, what do you practice. Can you handle or you cannot handle that set, or that set is just nonsense. People just talk about it, but they don't have the technology to improve you. Now, also, you know, if you constant practice this way, and some days after a while you become like that, you know you are progress. Okay. And if you check your VO2 max, like this one, the VO2 max, you see it is it tell you that this is decreasing, 2% decreasing. So this is how important it is. You know really clearly what you are doing, what you are practicing, whether it works or not, you know. So this is how important it is. And for now on, everybody can have this. You are this clear. You are not risking anything because you use sports science to check, to verify. And today, with today's technology, I have already looked into two tools which everybody can have, which can check for your VO2 max, your heart rate, those things. So this is the Amazfit T-Rex Pro, okay? Amazfit T-Rex Pro. And about $150 US. And this thing is good. It can do a lot of things. However, because this is tied on the arm, like the watch. There's another version, which is the Jabra Spotlight, where you measure your heart rate. You take your heart rate in the with your in your ear, with your ear, sensor that. I like this more when I'm trying to do shadow boxing and so forth, so that it doesn't tangle this. Okay, but it's different people, different requirements. And same thing. This is under This is around $150. And track your VO2 max. You can track your heart rate, as in here. You can track your heart rate as in here. So you can do this. All this you can do. You can do this, and you can check this. So both this and the Jabra spot, you can do it. Okay. Now, of course, you can get into the Polar, the Garmin, and the Sunto, the Sunto, the Sunto, or the Chorus, but that is much more expensive, 3-4 times more expensive than the Amazfit 3 T-Rex Pro. This is number 2, okay? The new one, and then the Jabra. So they will measure your VO2 max, measure your whatever you need to know on this thing. And if you want to get into the details on everything, as well, I say that it is in the Wing Chun Inceptions, how all this related and how the recovery. Okay, in this book, the recovery part you never see in the Western sports science. The techniques of the Nezhua Qi, and this is the ancient Nezhua Qi. So we have this technology today. Okay, so anybody who go get a Jabra or get a Jabra will be able to do it right away. Okay. So this is what I like to share with you, that this is a must part of sparring. If you want to spar, you need to develop this. And if you get the profile, you might find out that you are not suitable to do sparring. And that is good to know, and one must not touch it. One can train Wing Chun for health. That's not necessary one need to go to fight. So this is what I'd like to share with you today. And yeah, overnight, you just put inside this or get a watch. Your training will completely change, shifting to a new paradigm. We really cannot keep saying, this grandmaster said this, that grandmaster said this, my Xiu Lim Tao do this, my do this, my do that. Well, very simple. Just go to practice your Xiu Lim Tao using this heart tracker and your VO2 max tracker and so forth. Check your profile and look at what is the result of your practice. Go practice S21. See what it is. You can compare whatever sets. So here on, one don't need to just take everything on belief. If that person say this set is good for that, well, go practice it and see whether it improve your VO2 max, your endurance, or it be able to get you to the recovery, or does the set do whatever it does. Like I just shared with you that what zone, heart rate zone is that thing.